Actually, when I came to Chicago, I didn't have in mind that I would be speaking before a crowd. Bindu and Achin, we are friends, so I thought I would spend some time with them. ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു അവസരം തന്നതിന് ഒത്തിരി നന്ദി. All that I expect is that my work becomes a little larger with more people, perhaps in the same mission and with the same mission wherever we may be. Mine is not a kind of work, I see it's a way of life. അത് ഒത്തിരി കൊട്ടി ഘോഷിക്കാനുള്ളതൊന്നും എനിക്ക് തോന്നിയിട്ടില്ല. എൻ്റെ മനസ്സിൽ തോന്നിയതനുസരിച്ച് ജീവിക്കാനുള്ള ഒരു അന്വേഷണ യാത്രയാണ്. ചെറുപ്പകാലത്തെ ഉള്ള ചില അനുഭവങ്ങൾ കൊണ്ട് രണ്ട് ലോകം എൻ്റെ മുൻപിലുണ്ടായിരുന്നു, വി ആൻഡ് ദേ. ഒരു കൂട്ടം ആളുകൾ rather better off with a lot of resources, and the other side, simple people with very little resources but happy and satisfied. I had disturbance about this, and at the same time a strong pull and push, a strong attraction towards the other side. This led me perhaps in the beginning of my first dream. My father was often in the jail and with public work here and there, rarely at home. And my early days, like from 3 years, I remember very well. I grew up with him spending more time listening to the stories about Gandhi and about freedom fight and about the experience in jail. My mind was full of imagination, dreams. Perhaps that led me to search and dream more and more. From the time I started reading, I read. Being in a Christian family, Christ came into my life much later age. When I was in school like these young kids, the Sunday school, there was a lesson on Christ cleaning the temple. He becoming angry and beating up people or the crowd or the animals there with a broom. That was the picture I still remember. How could he get angry? All that I thought at that time was that holy temple is being dirtied, polluted. But much later, today when I deal with the society, with the less privileged, with the unjust system, I realize what that anger was about. It was not physically, physical pollution of the temple, but that result of the unjust system there. One group of people being exploited and the others enjoying a lot of benefits. I went to a convent in this search, thinking I would find my vocation there, not in Kerala where I thought life was more comfortable, but in the mission where I heard life was a lot of struggle. Missionary's life. In those two lines, I think my dream got crystallized. I said, this is what I want to be. A life without bothering about struggles, even natural things like storm and wind and rain and all that. And I went, first day itself I thought, my dream got shattered, very comfortable life, cozy Christianity I would say we practiced. Of course our congregation was very good in the kind of service, mission, lot of work in all fields. Yet around in the neighborhood there were people who were less privileged. And they attracted me again. I felt the gap between the two here was much more than what I had at home. So I spent only a very short time at the convent. Every time saying, Sister, I think I have no occasion. It's not what I wanted. But the problem with me was that I couldn't see a role model. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know how to live my life, how to find what I have in mind. Because of my crying and unhappiness, they said, now you can go. But much before that, my first Christmas, I wanted to run away. Because the material kind of preparations for Christmas, and in the compound, people walking miles and miles just with a bundle of vessels and a little bit of rice or something to cook in the night. Around the fire they were sitting. They had very little clothes. I sat in that strict silence. I went to the mistress and said, Sister, I want to go now. I can't stay here. It was so strong. But I didn't go. She told me till morning. I had no courage to leave. Much later, when they decided, I left. And from then on till today, I'm experimenting on my life, how I can simplify my life, how I can merge with the needed people, the marginalized, wherever I thought here was my calling. I went, and there was a drought relief program. I went there. When there was a cyclone relief, went there. Went to the refugees in Calcutta, went to Bangladesh, saw the horrible things after the war. Actually, from here things became clear to me. I was really always under the umbrella of the church. But here I saw much more secular world, a lot of people, NGOs, a lot of possibilities. And also here I saw what it means to have a war. The major victims are children and women, the kind of cruel things. From then, things very clearly I thought human relationship is very needed. Because just because of language was that war, Bengali and Urdu speaking Bengali. As underneath there are so many things. And I was decided now, I heard of social work. To be skilled in social work, I came to do MSW. Couldn't fit in there also because very American-based course, very much city-oriented work. I left questioning the college, questioning the kind of MSW program. After 8 years, when I went back to do my second year, I was given a lot of freedom. This opened ways for me. I came to Chilwara to do my research and also to look for a place perhaps in future to stay and to work. Here people lived as they ruled their 11 centuries. The central idea of God's kingdom. But after the independence, they are nowhere. When I saw first, I happened to help a woman for her delivery. Just share. Her husband asked me to give them a little bit of tea leaves, chai patti de do. And I asked if I can come to their house. I'm not allowed to enter their house because they are very superior and all others are untouchable. I had only a small veranda or a corner to stay in a widow's house. But here I asked, can I come? I went, just sat with her the whole night, only touching her hand, giving her a little bit of consoling words, sharing her aches and pains. She delivered. And then, after that, she told me, "Tum to Bombay wali thi, aaj se tum meri koi ho. From today, you are my special friend." So, it was a beautiful thing. Goi means very special intimate friend of a woman. She brought me to the village, her Maike, her parents' house, as a guest, and from there my mission begins. Here a woman, the headman asked, "Why तुम क्यों हमारे बीच में? हम जंगल के बंदर हैं, we are monkeys of the forest." Actually, not my MSW or LLB that taught me a lot what to do, how to go about. But here, this man tells me what they went through. All my social analysis came clear with these few words. That these people who were royal, they are so dehumanized, lost their royal identity and even human face. Why? Because people like you and I, people who are educated, so-called, people who think they are so civilized, they treated them everywhere, mocking, laughing at them, their dress, their way of language, their way of treating. In the process, this is what happened. I could see it everywhere, in public places, how they are treated. Then I thought, this is what I am going to do here. What? To go down to their level. What happened on the Christmas day? Immersion, the fusion of divinity with humanity. Actually, in my search days, I went through Bible a lot. It was so clear for me where to begin at going down. Because in the Bible it is so clear that God was so concerned. He took constantly the sides of the poor, Exodus, Deuteronomy, Amos, everywhere you see, Psalms. And God identified also with the poor. There was no sign of practicing a kind of cozy Christianity which we all tend to. I was in conflict. I wasn't sure which way to go, but Bible more or less told me. But these men, these poor people gave me clearly the way. When I was living with them, the problem was on wages, and I knew nobody in that village was literate. Everybody had a loan from the World Bank through the local banks. This was the first development program. Not even drinking water, we drank water from the flowing river. Beginning was there, and since I saw that they were not literate, and also a lot of exploitation, using every occasion, I was trying to conscientize them, especially on their rights, legal rights, fundamental rights. And the first issue we took when they were ready was the wages. I also worked as a labourer under the forest department when there was work for 5 rupees. When we took the wages, we knew what was happening. What was happening on the payment of wages, on the record, what was there really on the papers, etc. With that first issue, I got the direction. Now, main thing would be taking care of human rights violation. A lot of cases. People needed help to write FIR in the police station. They needed help from the village officer, the Patwari, for the, regarding land. A lot of such things. But from the time you take a legal issue, you are coming in confrontation with the state administration, at least to the lower level of people, forest guard, police, village officer, people like that. So on one side, people were really for me, needing my help, and I was clear now this is my mission. On the other side, a counter forces developing against me because I have a Christian label. There was no church. Only 100 kilometers away in the district church, only the district town, only there was a church. Still they, not the tribals, but the others saw me, I am a Christian. So main accusation was on that. Even in a police station, when I went with a woman for FIR, I was beaten up. My teeth are broken with that. But when the crowd gathered, what he said was, "सारी हजारों आदिवासी और हरिजनों को ईसाई बना रही है." She's Christianizing thousands of tribals and scheduled castes. So it's not easy in Madhya Pradesh in this way to work, but I am still there. But after some time I felt what was needed was to have a big movement to get the people together, because everywhere same kind of problem. And I was working in that line. And what helped me was that I got a chance to participate in some program in the Supreme Court, and I took that opportunity back to this place, telling the collector that I want to get these people legally conscientized. He said, go ahead, a lot of complaints against you, let the people know what you are doing. I used this opportunity in a public place, in a school where everybody is gathered. The government officials, the local people, students, teachers, to say that we are going to start a legal literacy class, and I opened up with the first words of our constitution. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, belief, faith, worship and expression, equality of status and opportunity, and to promote among them all, assuring the dignity of the individual and unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, adopt, and give to ourselves this Constitution. I could say this openly because it's the words for each citizen, it's the dream, it's the promise for everyone in India. We have made a pledge, we have made a promise for each one, and still we need to remind ourselves. When I was not clear what to do, as I said, I went through the Bible. The same words Christ also openly said, and I had gone through again and again. And I think these words should flow into our blood. That's what I did. Luke 4, 16 to 21. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because He has anointed me to bring good news. He doesn't say that good news, go and preach, to release the oppressed, to give sight, not only physical sight. And in the end of all, the same thing, the same kind, what we promised in the Constitution, egalitarian society, where everybody will be equal, nobody will be apprehensive or afraid of the other. So on one side, my Christian vision, and here the secular thing as an Indian. It made a way for me to work, and also it helped me somewhere to be confident, to be open before everyone. But after some time I saw something else. I said, not only human rights violation, not only injustice, something seriously happening with the so-called development program. This I learned from the people. I knew I have a fascination for agriculture, for nature, etc. But I didn't know that aspect of my work till these people made it clear. After a few years of the development, agricultural development, people started noticing the kind of destruction. It's more destructive development. Soil is destroyed with the chemical fertilizers, pesticides, hybrid seeds, and the whole culture, a lot of changes in their ways of dealing with agriculture. Agriculture became agribusiness. Suddenly there was a lot of change and people started noticing, talking, and a lot of their original kind of crop disappearing. Today, after seeing, feeling, studying, experimenting, I feel sustainable development means sustainable agriculture also, which is being restored. They took